Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Happy Thanksgiving to our listeners in the U.S. Whether you've traveled to celebrate Thanksgiving with family or you're taking it easy at home, it's a time to reflect upon the year to date and recharge your personal batteries. Take the time to revisit your goals from the start of the year. If you're like most people, there are still a few that have yet to be completed, or perhaps even a lot, who knows. If you're Canadian, you celebrated Thanksgiving back in October. What I'm talking about today is every bit as much for you as it is for people south of the border. The period between U.S. Thanksgiving and the end of the year is one where many people's priorities shift. Some people are thinking a lot less about work. They may be planning time with family over the holidays in December. Take some time this weekend to write down a few vitally important things. These are so important that I don't consider them optional for anyone who's serious about achieving their goals. But before you take out your goals, you need to start with gratitude. Take a large blank sheet of paper or your journal and write down at least 10 items that you're grateful for since the start of the year. You don't even need to limit yourself to 10. It could be 20 or 50. They don't need to be huge. You don't need to have come up with a cure for some disease or won the Nobel Prize. Write down those items you're grateful for. Here's a few that I'm grateful for. Number 1, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for being married to the most amazing woman. I'm grateful for my children and for the health of my children. I'm grateful for having high-quality business partners with whom I share the same values. I'm grateful for living in a country that is safe and free from armed conflict. I'm grateful for having outstanding relationships in my life. I could go on and on. I've discovered that the most powerful place to center myself is from a position of gratitude. And once you've completed journaling on gratitude, I want you to look at several items in order of priority. Number 1, take out your vision board and take a good look at it. Maybe you don't have a vision board, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Are the items on your vision board that you have accomplished? I've always been amazed at how often items on my vision board just magically seem to get done. It's not always right away. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 years. But over time, those big items get done. And if you don't have a vision board, I'd encourage you to take the time to create one. There's lots of good online examples of vision boards. You could create one on a large poster using clippings of photographs from magazines. I personally chose to build mine on the computer. I did it in PowerPoint using photos and images found on my computer and on the internet. And that way, I always have my vision board with me at all times. Once you've done that, the second task for you this coming weekend is to review your goals that you set at the beginning of the year. And I want you to pick one goal that you really want to accomplish by the end of the year. Don't try and do 2 or 3 or 6. Just one. There isn't enough time. Take one goal and reorganize your schedule from now to the end of December to prioritize that one goal into your calendar. That could mean reserving an hour a day at the start of each day so that you give yourself your highest priority goal, your best time, your greatest daily energy, and your focus. This second item is going to be a sprint. It's a sprint to the finish line. Many goals are a marathon taking place over many weeks and months, and you cannot practically sprint an entire marathon. But you can sprint that last little bit to the finish line, and that's where we are deep in the fourth quarter of 2018. Now bear in mind, there's 2 types of goals. There are attainment goals where there's a specific deliverable that you want to achieve or a specific milestone that you want to achieve. And then the second type of goals are habituation or habit goals. In my experience, I found that habit goals are actually the more powerful form of goal setting. Now, I'm not saying that this has to be a business goal. It could be a personal goal. It might be a fitness goal. It might be health related. It might be family related. I want you to pick one goal that you're going to accomplish between here and the end of the year. Now, if you're Canadian, you will not have a 4-day weekend to get all this done. You'll have a little bit less time. But it doesn't require days of work to get this done. Set some quiet time aside this weekend and let your family members know that you need a couple of hours to do some good quality planning work for the remainder of the year. They should respect that. If you're traveling during the weekend, take time during your flight or on the train or work on your goals instead of watching a movie. And if you're driving, let someone else do the driving so you can work on this while they drive. I've discovered that reviewing your goals and reviewing your vision is not something that's urgent, that absolutely must be done right here, right now. Same thing with gratitude. It's not something that's urgent, but it's one of those things that's important. It's important because when I do it, I deliver better quality results. I get closer to achieving my goals, and so will you. like to wish our American friends a happy, happy Thanksgiving. Go make some great things happen. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.